Progress on competing free trade agreements is coming out of the East Asia Summit. The meetings wrapped up in Cambodia, and they included 16 countries in the Asia-Pacific region, including Russia and the United States. CCTV's Jessica Stone joins us now. You've been following the president on his trip. A lot of talk on politics and a lot of talk on trade.
That's right, and actually we like to think of the nations of Southeast Asia like the girl that everybody wants to dance with at the high school dance, right? She's very popular, everybody wants to dance with her, but they are all dancing to different music. Now the nations themselves, in this case, the nations of ASEAN, the 10 nations in the Southeast Asia, have formally begun talks on their own free trade agreement. It's a competing idea with the talks underway known as the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
At his last meeting with U.S. President Barack Obama during the East Asia Summit, Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao pledged more economic cooperation with the Americans under the incoming Chinese leadership.
Our two countries will enhance the exchange and consultation on regional and international affairs, in particular to enhance our cooperation in the Asia-Pacific region.
And as the two largest economies in the world, we have a special responsibility to lead the way in ensuring sustained and balanced growth, not only here in Asia, but globally.
But during meetings with the 10-member ASEAN countries, Premier Wen threw his support behind the regional free trade talks known as the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP. Formal negotiations began after the East Asia Summit. RCEP involves all 10 ASEAN nations, as well as China, the Republic of Korea, Japan, India, Australia, and New Zealand. The goal is to become a tariff-free trading bloc by 2015. The Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP, involves 11 countries that border the Pacific Ocean, including those in North and South America. But in addition to removing tariffs, its goal is to also address rules of origin and investment. The TPP advanced a trade facilitation agreement during the summit.
TPP is a much bigger splash than RCEP. RCEP is a continuation, which has its advantages. TPP is the more uncertain, but the bigger change.
But with the ASEAN nations now the fourth largest trading partner for the United States and the third largest trading partner for China, Asia economist Derek Scissor says a competition between the two parallel discussions has its advantages.
Both of these tracks push each other onward. You get more trade liberalization. That's a good outcome for everyone.
And Scissor says, Phil, that if he had to bet, he would bet on RCEP becoming the first trade agreement to reach full agreement. An official with the China-ASEAN Business Council also agrees, saying basically that is a much more gradual process that allows countries to come in as they're ready. TPP really wants to go for the big enchilada, everything all at once.
Now, this is not the first time that we've talked about trade agreements, whether it's Mexico or the U.S. or it's in Asia or it's in Europe. And the question a lot of people ask, like myself or a normal folk, I guess, is how does this benefit the global consumer? Does that mean lower prices? Or I'm thinking I might be wrong about this.
Well, for something like this, where most of the components, a cell phone or an iPad, where most of the components are made in this region anyway, RCEP will just lower the tariff barriers between these countries. They're already working together. Many of the components of these come from these countries like Malaysia and Thailand. But they're assembled in China. So if you can get those barriers down in the short term, that could make products like this cheaper.
So we'll still keep buying them, basically.
Well, that I think is safe to say in any case.
Jessica Stone, always great to have you here. Thank you very much.